They attempted to take advantage of your innocent appearance and humble nature. They repeatedly misread your deep insight and inner wisdom. But now they are experiencing an increasing fear, which God has bestowed upon them. They are recognizing that you possess the wisdom of an ancient spirit that transcends time. You are an unbreakable child of God. While some may see your outer appearance as a cosmetic advantage or a sign of innocence, it has truly become a burden in the past. Jesus' actions, as well as gestures of love, were questioned. Being merciful was considered as a weakness, while having a decent heart was regarded as a defect. People couldn't understand the infinite depths of your spirit. They underestimated you and failed to recognize that you walk with eternal wisdom, while they remained fixated on the world they saw. You progress with knowledge that transcends the limitations of time. When they hurled scornful looks at you, they had no idea they were looking at the truth. Even when the rest of the world refused to comprehend and ridiculed you, God was with you. Every step you took was monitored, leading you to where you are today. Every insulting phrase, mocking expression, and humiliating action was part of God's plan because you never bowed to anyone. You are the chosen one. They assumed you would remain silent and leave them behind. But your words rang with strength beyond their imagination, dispelling their illusions. You are very wonderful. The chosen one. You were never just someone with an outer appearance. You have been chosen and endowed with insight that defies time. The world cannot fathom the profundity of your inner being. They misjudged you since they were unaware you weren't playing their confined games. You moved with heavenly timing, directed by an order that transcended their surface judgments. They played out the same situation at work. They hijacked your thoughts, misunderstood you for an amateur, and believed they could control you. They chatted behind your back, expecting your voice to go unheard. They associated your youth with ignorance and attempted to degrade you. However, when the key moment arrived and everyone was looking for solutions, you stepped up decisively. You presented a strategy without hesitancy, projecting confidence throughout the room. As your thoughts evolved, their arrogance faded, and their meaningless statements became less impactful. You did not just give a solution. The heavenly understanding within you astounded them. To unleash this heavenly energy, type 77 in the comments and donate online using the special thanks button. With $7 or more for even stronger energy, as the chosen one, your seemingly innocent exterior is a symbol of the unlimited energy within you. Your young appearance is more than simply physical qualities. The strength within you is a reflection of your deep source, setting you apart from others who bear the traces of time. Your soul has a freshness that transcends human experience. Your mind and spirit remain vibrant as a result of that profound connection that constantly nurtures you as you advance, liberating yourself from the baggage of the past or old hurts. This energy empowers you every day. It not only revitalizes your body, but also permits your spirit to constantly renew and evolve. Your inner calm, love, and determination continue to fuel this timeless and immortal light. Your age may confer knowledge, yet you retain the wonder and vigor of a young soul, making you both timeless and endless. This harmony within you radiates outward, giving you a distinct charm that people cannot ignore. Your young appearance reflects spiritual energy flowing from inside. It is a sign that time cannot contain you. Time may pass, but the limitless power that supports you will always defend you. They interpreted your apparent purity as a weakness and assessed you accordingly. They believe they can control or reject you. They are unaware, however, that you are protected by an unseen shield of power. Every move they take to humiliate you, every deceptive phrase they say, is repulsed by a force they cannot comprehend. they fail to recognize that God is constantly protecting you. They underestimate you, assuming that your energy is easily manipulated and that you are weak. But beyond that young visage is a spirit unaffected by time and wisdom that surpasses human comprehension. Your existence is a conundrum in all senses, both fresh and timeless, appearing delicate but unshakable. They disregard God's might, which surrounds you like armor and neutralizes every attack and scheme. Your Creator's hands safeguard you, and no deception or spiteful action can penetrate this holy protection. They look for your flaws, hoping to go unnoticed. But they don't realize that God has already revealed everything to you. You're always one step ahead since you don't want vengeance. God is molding your path in ways they cannot understand. Their ideas vanish before they can take shape because you are surrounded by an unbreakable force while they play games and build sophisticated traps to bring you down. You keep silent. Someone you trusted turns on you, spreading lies behind your back to pull you down. They believe they can lead you into their traps and that you are too naive to realize the dangers surrounding you. What they don't realize is that God has given you the ability to see beyond the secrets just by waiting. You let God unveil their schemes with each passing day. You don't even have to face the revelation of the reality. Those who were previously misled by misleading gossip are progressively approaching you. They begin to realize that what they were hearing was an illusion, and the truth comes to light. You constructed no defenses and launched no counterattacks. You acted with God's power, and this power exposed the lies for you. Masks collapsed, and those who attempted to degrade you became caught in their own traps. Being under heavenly protection gave you a sense of tranquility. You knew everything will be resolved in its own time. While talk grew, you clung to your silent confidence, knowing God was on your side and would defend you. As their schemes and intrigues crumbled one by one, you just watched the truth emerge. God's monitoring of you exposed all of their masks and revealed the truth. Their schemes to pull you down failed one after the other. They intended to damage your name, but instead their own deception was exposed. Every time they tried to damage your reputation, they revealed their genuine selves. This is a powerful example of how God works in your life. You didn't have to strain to tell the truth. God fought for you, protected you, and revealed the truth. God protects every step you take, and as time passes, people who misjudged you see the reality more clearly. No evil strategy can prevail since God has already sealed your victory from the outside. They only see your youth. But it's only a facade, a surface illusion. Deep within lurks the power of a spirit from another time. You are protected, led, and equipped with immense power that exceeds their comprehension. Those selected by God are never vulnerable, utterly exposed, or defeated. They will soon comprehend this. Those who formerly thought you were weak now recognize that your strength is powered by an unseen source. While they assessed you solely on your appearances, you are connected to a power that extends beyond their limitations. They always acted within their own limits. However, your presence conveys a truth that extends far beyond those borders. No weapon, strategy, or intrigue in this world can change the reality that God will protect you. They perceived weakness, but they're starting to realize that the power before them is limitless. The divine plan has always protected you, and it will continue to do so. Whatever they do, God has carved your path, and it will never be disturbed. Your pure heart caused people to pass judgment on you. They didn't recognize your potential for greatness, but they forgot that God watches your heart with humility. This humility contains a potential that grows deeper but goes unnoticed on the surface. God designed your purity, even if it was perceived as weakness or ignorance, to diligently expand your time and efforts. Those who witness this spiritual progress in your life will be surprised in due course. An inexorable change is on its way, so swift and intense that you may find it difficult to adjust to the rise God has planned. You will not take little moves. It will be like an explosion. While everybody is watching, those who perceived you as small believed that being unseen would protect you. But God had already planned your journey, a path that extends beyond their constricted view. This tremendous jump will be a demonstration of God's vast and amazing elevation. You, those who earlier ignored and undervalued your efforts, will now experience a miracle they cannot comprehend. God amplifies your efforts 100-fold and transports you to areas they could never reach. This is the power of divine multiplication. What was previously neglected has now reached unbelievable heights. Every step you take in confidence assures that the seeds you planted grow at a rate that exceeds human expectations. God's promises are now coming true in front of those who underestimated you. The purity of your heart becomes the driving force that propels you to the pinnacle. Your climb is built on pure faith and dedication, as well as generosity that goes beyond wisdom and experience. You constantly prioritized others over yourself when they couldn't understand you. They misunderstood your youth for inexperience, but they never saw the depth in your heart, the quiet source of your strength. They thought they could take advantage of your goodwill, assuming there were no limitations. However, God documented every unselfish act, every second you gave without expecting anything in return. These sacrifices were seeds quietly planted in a world that frequently ignores them. Now, these seeds will develop fruit as you grow in faith, emerging as a force that quietly inspires those around you. The kindness within you will not fade or perish with time. Instead, it will shine brightly in this world. God observed your sacrifices and expanded their spheres of impact. Your generosity, which was previously neglected by others, is now flourishing and elevating you in unforeseen ways. They considered you useless, but your loyalty shone brightly. You will demonstrate to the world how anything sown with pure faith produces wonderful results. God's plan has unveiled the goodness that was hidden within you to the rest of the world. Your sacrifices were like seeds that gradually grew underground over time. Perhaps no one noticed, yet God carefully monitored each one and lavishly rewarded them. Now, these seeds are developing stronger than anyone could have predicted. Your seemingly insignificant activities are having a ripple effect that impacts countless hearts. Your silent efforts have become powerful and effective enough for everyone to notice. They underestimated and neglected you. But now your light is too bright to be obscured by their shadows. Every step you take, every word you say, evolves into a force that expands and spreads around you. With God's permission, your charity took its own course and became a source of hope, courage, and encouragement to others. God exalted you in ways they didn't expect. And now your path, your silent but deliberate steps, will serve as a lesson for the globe. Because in God's eyes, no sacrifice or act of love is in vain. Each one, sooner or later, sees the light and realizes the worth it deserves. God has been preparing you for this moment, when what you have lost will be restored and your efforts rewarded. This is a divine law engraved into the universe's very foundations. Everything you give with honest intentions comes back to you abundantly. While others perceived your giving as a weakness and attempted to exploit you, God was documenting every moment. Now the scales have fully shifted. You never wanted acceptance, but the praise coming your way is intoxicating. Those who previously missed your charity are now appreciating the blessings that are pouring down on them like a storm. They will realize that your generosity has not gone unnoticed, and that every moment you offered without expecting anything in return has been faithfully given by God. All of your good work has matured over time and is now on display in front of them. The generosity they overlooked for years is suddenly transforming into miracles right in front of their eyes. You are always there to help anyone in need, helping while no one else did. This was not out of obligation, but rather a natural expression of your heart's power, reaching out to others, supporting them, and assisting them in moving forward. This was typically not appreciated. Some people misjudged your kindness due to your young appearance, failure to recognize how extensive your services were, but you understood exactly what you were doing, and more importantly, God knew everything. Every loving step you took and every sacrifice you made was documented. And now, as God has promised, the time has come. Everything you contributed was not in vain. You donated without expecting anything back, but the divine has planned an incredible reward for you. Those who previously underestimated you will now see how God works in your life and recognize that the purity of your heart is your greatest asset. You've always experienced criticism and skepticism, with many rejecting your talents due to your age and believing you lack understanding. But what they didn't realize was that you weren't bound by these momentary judgments. They didn't comprehend that God has been leading you since the beginning. Divine guidance assures that every move you take is important and that your activities are consistent with a larger plan. You did not go through your life alone. The Creator drew your route because He saw your potential. God has given you insight beyond your years since the beginning, a profound truth and divine vision that inspired you. When others look at you, they may see your youth and dismiss you as unskilled, but God views you as a vessel ready for heavenly wisdom and instruction. Your life will not be a series of uncertainties. Every challenge you confront, every action you make, will have a clear and obvious outcome, because God will guide you every step of the way. His voice is more powerful than the commotion around you, and His promises are far more dependable than human notions. Every step you take is consistent with a predetermined plan, ensuring your achievement. You're at a critical juncture right now, where a huge decision could alter the trajectory of your life. Everybody has something to say. Some believe you are too young, inexperienced, or immature to make sound decisions. But you know that the silent counsel within you indicates that their words do not accurately reflect the truth. You pray to God for direction, and His answers arrive just on time. An unexpected door opens, presenting an opportunity that no one had imagined. And this chance precisely fits your heart's deepest wishes. You feel it's a divine grace and take the opportunity without hesitation. Doors that were once closed are now wide open. Those who doubted your capacity to make the proper decision are now amazed as God's counsel pulls you forward. Those who perceived your youth as a burden failed to recognize that your genuine power stemmed from heavenly guidance. This is your assurance. God will always lead you to an escape, even when others see no solution. He will show you the path. He will unlock closed doors and crown your path with glory. When you turn to Him, you'll never get lost. God's wisdom will always be with you, taking you past your current doubts, anxieties, and restrictions. They wanted to rush. You underestimated your patience and questioned why things weren't moving faster for you. But you've always known that God's timing is impeccable. Others may view your progress as slow, stagnant, or slipping behind. But what they don't realize is that every hour you waited was a deliberate decision. Every delay served a purpose. You were never behind. Instead, you were exactly where you needed to be, advancing according to the divine plan. Their haste didn't matter to you because your path wasn't constrained by their restricted time, whereas others rushed for approval and speedy outcomes. You constructed quietly and painstakingly, and God changed you during the process, preparing you for the immense graces that would come. Others were unable to understand that what they perceived as a delay was actually a heavenly preparation period. Every day you waited was not a step backward. Rather, it was a time when God was shaping you into something far better than anyone could fathom. They felt you were waiting in vain, but you were getting ready for something far bigger that they couldn't see while others moved rapidly. You waited patiently with deep patience and trust, thinking that God was preparing something far bigger for you, while they moved forward with immediate success. Your progress has remained secret. Those who assessed you solely on what was evident on the outside were unable to recognize the foundation and progress you were establishing deep within. However, your path was moving forward with a purpose. They were unable to forecast. Your elevation was not dependent on their brief wins, but on God's perfect plan for you. And when God acted, the doors that opened for you were so big that they could not be compared to any other success in the world. The immediate triumphs they believed were noteworthy faded in comparison to your story, because your path is led by supernatural guidance. And now, the roads God will open for you will take you to new heights they never imagined. This rise will astound not only you, but many others as well. God's plan for your life is distinct and unmistakable. One day, an opportunity you've been patiently waiting for appears unexpectedly, and witnessing how perfectly your purpose aligns with your heart convinces you of the significance of every second that has passed since then. This isn't any ordinary opportunity. It's a unique moment predetermined by God. Its scope is so enormous that it surprises you. Everything those eager to succeed have accomplished pales in comparison. Those who once misjudged you are now in awe of how flawlessly God has planned everything for you. What they attempted to accomplish via their own efforts pales in comparison to the plan God has set for you. The precision of divine timing demonstrates that every second spent waiting served a bigger purpose. Every pause was an opportunity to grow stronger. God was not stopping you. He was arranging each step you'd take in a perfect order to propel you forward. Now that everything has been put together, the world will learn what you know. God's timing isn't just perfect. It features a miracle. It's too fantastic to imagine. Nothing for you was overlooked. Everything arrived just on time and exceeded expectations. The world only saw obstacles and limitations. They believed that the challenges would wear you down and crush you. But what they didn't realize was that God had already empowered you long before. Despite skepticism and mockery, you walked ahead quietly but determinedly. You didn't have to prove yourself to others because your power was already fueled by a source outside of their opinions. While they hesitated, you walked forward in trust, knowing that your strength was backed by a supernatural source. Every question and challenge became a tool for God to strengthen you. They underestimated you because they were unable to recognize the spiritual force within you. They misunderstood your quiet demeanor for weakness. However, this was the tranquility of someone walking with God. Your power was not dependent on human approval, but on a supernatural source. This is the time they expected you to give up. You're currently facing a substantial test, such as a difficult task, a large project, or a situation in which they want you to fail. They're all watching, hoping you'll fail. Their expectations are obvious. They want you to fail, but you remain cool because you know something that they don't. God is with you, and your power is sufficient to overcome their pressures. You face obstacles with grace and determination, Your faith directs every action you take. While they panic, you maintain a solid stance. The outcome is unavoidable. You not only achieve achievement, but you also ascend to the top with a force that astounds those watching. Doubtful eyes remain quiet, unable to understand how you achieved. When you look at them, everything becomes obvious. Your power comes not from the world, but from the divine link within you. This is your moment of success. They couldn't have predicted that the trials would serve as tools to enhance you. They insulted, questioned, and underestimated you. However, they must now keep an eye on your progress. The strength they had disregarded is suddenly blazing brilliantly. And the fact that God chose you is evident. You are not simply a victim of the challenges you face. You are a warrior carrying God's might. And this is only the beginning. Those who misjudged you viewed your youth and inexperience as a weakness. Now they must confront the truth. They simply saw the surface, but you were endowed with heavenly understanding within you. Their senses were not profound enough to assess you. The more they underestimated you, the stronger you were. Now, beaming in front of the entire world, you can see how every adversity shaped you. You remained patient through each phase. Never lose faith in the face of rejection, because you understood that God had a plan for you. Every loss was an opportunity to strengthen your foundation. Every time you were misunderstood, you gained great wisdom. People judged you based on your appearance. I thought you were inexperienced. However, this cannot eclipse the greatness that God has planned for you. Now your elevation is more than just an outward success. It reflects the heavenly connection within your heart. Others were watching you with skeptical eyes. You walked with wisdom that they couldn't understand. God has always had a plan. You are walking down this path, and now the strategy has been exposed. Those who condemned and doubted you will have to recognize the source of your inner strength. This is not a mere happenstance or stroke of luck. It's a win in which God is with you and helping you through every step you take. Divine grace has grown you, and today that light burns brightly, encouraging others. Your story will be a source of hope for others. Instead of surrendering to challenges, you allow them to strengthen you. Moving forward with this power, more graces, and opportunities that God has provided for you, you must also wait. Now tell your story. To do this, join by clicking the icon to become a member of the God Connection. Introduce yourself to others and explain what it means to be chosen to overcome obstacles and live in divine wisdom.